Ashli-Jean, self-care. Oh, by the way, anyone listening, there is going to be some adult language in this because your business is self-care bitches. The self-care bitches. All right, Ashli-Jean of the self-care bitches. Where are you from?
I am from Norman, Oklahoma. Born and raised for like 30 years, all the way up until I moved here.
Okay.
Yes. So my husband and I actually met in Norman, Oklahoma, working at Olive Garden in college. Yes. And
so many bread rolls.
Very family. And then we became family like 7 years ago. Our anniversary is next week.
Nice.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is that Valentine's?
February 7th.
That's pretty close.
Yes.
That's
close enough.
basically
Yeah, we just
Valentine's.
celebrated one.
Yeah.
No, so we met in college and then we kind of like went our own ways, and then he messaged me, slid into my DMs like 8 years ago, had seen an art piece that I had posted on Facebook and was like, hi, and we wound up talking forever, and then like a year and a half later, he was stationed here and he was like, do you want to move in with me at my beach house on the island? And it was like, yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do, actually. So yeah, it works out because like my friends actually used to call me the misplaced mermaid in Oklahoma because like all my tattoos, most of my tattoos are ocean themed.
Okay.
So I've always been obsessed with the beach and with mermaids and all of that.
Yeah.
So I got to bring my little mermaid self to the beach.
Nice.
Yes.
Where'd you go to college?
OU.
Okay.
The University of Oklahoma.
Okay, gotcha. Nice. So then your husband got stationed here.
Mm-hmm.
You followed him
Yes.
pre-marriage, which
Yes.
kudos to you. That's a brave thing. Like, oh, let me move across the
He
country.
was actually deployed when we started talking, and so
okay.
yes, and then moved here, and then he deployed again, and then we had a kid, and then he deployed again, and then we had another kid. And hopefully no deployments anytime soon, but yes.
Those deployments making babies, like those turn into babies a lot.
They do actually, and they also turn into a self-care business because I had to teach myself how to not lose my mind.
What's your husband do, if you don't mind asking?
He is in communications. So.
Fair enough. Is he Air Force or?
Yes, Air Force.
Okay, nice. That's the best branch, obviously. All right, so you got here 7 years ago? 8 years ago?
2018. Oh my God.
6 years ago.
That one, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
In 2024, public math.
Don't do it.
6 years.
Yeah.
Nice. Are you still out on the island?
No, we actually just sold our condo and moved inland a little bit. We're just like 12 minutes from the beach now. But we bought a little townhouse because our condo was 1 bedroom and we had 2 dogs and a kid and then another kid. So we're like, no,
Those
kid on in.
beach condos are small.
750 square feet.
Better like each other.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were really cozy.
All right, so that led you into deployments, which fair enough, to create self-care bitches. And the friendly version for family events is self-care bees, hence the bumblebees.
Yes.
Of which I love that you did that, by the way. So you can kind of go either way with it. You were at one of our events last month, and you had self-care bees set up, and you had branding, and you even have books for self-care bees, right?
Yes. We have one for self-care bees so far, and then 2 for the bitches.
Nice. 2 for the bitches. Love it. All right, so what is self-care bitches?
Okay, so this actually started...
Actually, stop. I gotta ask.
Okay.
The self-care bitches leads me to believe that there is more than one bitch involved.
I was about to tell you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Go ahead.
It actually started with my old roommate back in Norman, Oklahoma. Her name's Stephanie, and we lived together all the way for a couple of years before I moved out here. And during the COVID lockdown, when everyone was just like losing their shit, she started sharing a system that she came up with to help everyone regain their shit, basically.
Yeah.
So she called it mental. And each letter stood for a different activity that she did each day to just like help stay grounded, stay sane, super self-care. She taught it to me because I had wicked anxiety, and I was like, dude, like all of this activates your happy hormones. And I'm super infatuated with neuroscience. And I was like, that's fucking cool. And so I started practicing it. And then she shared it with another gal, Brittany. She's our boss bitch. She's the one that knows how to do all of the business shit. So I call Stephanie my guru bitch, and Brittany's my boss bitch. And I'm just like the clinical, artistic designer bitch, I guess.
Perfect. So three bitches?
Three bitches.
All right.
There's 3 bitches, yes. So when she taught it to Brittany was like, dude, we gotta get this out into the world. Like, everyone needs to know this shit. So we started working together on Zoom because I was here on the Emerald Coast and they're both in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And so we have done everything together. I've actually never even met Brittany in real life, and we've been in a business for 3 years now. We have done everything through online.
Nice.
Yes. So I hope I can hear you. So when we started this, the Self-Care Bitches actually was the name of our group chat whenever we started first talking about this. And before we came up with a name, we were like, that's cool. So we kept the Self-Care Bitches. And we wanted to figure out how to make a system that people could pull from to just naturally stimulate those happy hormones. So we took Steph's like foundational mental, and I'm snarky and silly, so I turned it into the mental breakdown, and I expanded her system into the mental breakdown and added a shit ton more activities that naturally stimulate like your oxytocin, your endorphins, your serotonin, your dopamine. So we have a whole chart in our book. Every day you see that chart, and it's color coordinated, so you know which happy hormone you're activating.
Okay.
And so you pull from that chart to say, okay, what am I specifically going to do today to stimulate that happy hormone? So we turned that into a whole like guided planner / journal. We call them plurnals. Anytime we say plurnal, people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's a planner journal. It's going to catch on. It's going to catch on one of these days.
Listen, you can add words to the dictionary. It's fine. Just keep saying it.
Hey, if twerk can be in the dictionary, plurnal can be in the
Plain
dictionary.
twerk. I love it. How did you get it, I guess, involved into the neuroscience of this stuff? Like what pulled you there? Is that what you did in college?
So, no, I went to college for social work. So I did my bachelor's in social work, and then I did my master's in social work, and then I got my license, my clinical licensure in social work, so I'm an LCSW. I was actually at a conference for continuing education, and it was all about reactive attachment disorder. And it was taught by this woman named Nancy Thomas, and she's like the guru of reactive attachment disorder. And she started talking about all these things that she was...
What is that?
Reactive attachment disorder.
Yes.
So that is something that can happen to children who experience multiple caregivers early in life. So they have a really hard time forming healthy attachments to their caregivers, and that leads up into adulthood and it affects their relationships across the board. It can cause really aggressive behaviors. It can cause really severe emotional problems. It's scary stuff.
Yeah.
So her passion was working with these kids with RAD is reactive attachment disorder. But what she started doing was she was pulling all these neuroscience techniques that were activating different parts of their brain to help promote like healthy bonds. So like the coolest thing, I still remember, it gives me goosebumps because I'm like, what the fuck? She would have these kids jump up and down. So when you jump up and down, that activates the limbic system in your brain, which is responsible for your feelings of safety and security.
Okay.
So like when babies are crying, what do we naturally do?
Bounce.
We bounce them, not soothes them, because you're activating that limbic system in your brain. And I was like, what the fuck? That's amazing. Tell me more. And so she went on to talk about like how sugar is a bonding agent, and then like oxytocin is skin to skin. Every night she would do skin to skin with her kids. And it stuck with me. Like it really stuck with me. So like if I ever go back to school, it's going to be like a PhD in neuroscience. Like that is phenomenal. I am so fascinated by human behavior and what we can do to naturally help our moods and improve our mental health. So whenever Steph introduced that system to me, I was like, no way. Like, you know why this works? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, because you're doing dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins, like all the shit that helps your brain naturally. So I was fucking pumped whenever they were like, dude, let's make a book. And I was like, yes!
Do it.
Can we say fuck in it? And they were like, yes! And I was like, deal, let's do this.
That's awesome.
Yes, so that's how the Self-Care Bitches was born.
Nice.
We are up to 3 books
When did it start?
3 plurals, 2020, during the COVID lockdown.
Okay, great
Yes.
time. Great time
Yes.
for that to start.
We were locked down in our houses. None of us were working, so we were able to like really fully dive into this. They are now working, so our mojo's kind of slowed down because I'm the only one staying at home full time right now with my baby.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm putting a lot of myself into it right now, but we've kind of gone through shifts. Like Steph will pour everything in, and then Britt will pour everything in, and so we take turns. But that's kind of why we're still moving. We're still building. We're still building like out our business model and everything that we want to offer to the world. But we currently have 3 books to offer, 3 plurals.
So the book is a plural.
It's a plural.
Okay.
It's a journal and a planner.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just love what you brought up about the balancing, and I'm very, we'll say, just layman educated. Like I have no formal education in it, but I say everything you need, that might be an over exaggeration. Almost everything you need is naturally provided to you. There's a time and place for modern medicine, and I'm not trying to discount that in any way, but I think so many times people run to medicine, and it's like, did you try working out? I mean, jumping jacks is jumping up and down.
Something I'm going to say about that.
Go.
So people hear, I need to exercise, and they're like, fuck that, I don't want to go to the gym.
Right.
So in our journal, we use the term joyful movement. So it's a cognitive reframe of the word exercise that triggers a lot of people.
Right.
And we say, what can you find every day that is fun for you?
Right.
And how you can move your body. So like for me, I love roller skating, I love hula hooping, Steph plays volleyball, like what fun way can you move your body? But yes, continue. We need to exercise.
Yeah, well, it's just, it's drinking water, it's contact with the earth, it's sunlight, it's going to bed and getting full 8 hours of sleep. And when I say that, not in bed for 8 hours, but sleeping.
Yes.
For it, really. I mean, I actually very recently, I got rid of my phone in my bedroom.
Good for
my
you.
Wife and I both did. We were
yes.
I wake up naturally around 6 a.m. Right when the birds start chirping, I'm up. But I also don't stay up late. I don't watch TV, so like I get in bed at 9 to 9:30, and I'm asleep by 9:30 or 10. I'm not awake for more than like 15 or 20 minutes, and I feel like I sleep through the night. I feel great when I wake up, except this morning when I woke up at 3:30. But
except when I woke up for my baby at 11:30, 2:30, 4:30.
Right.
Yes. I tell you, sleep is so important for our mental health. And I remember when Novi was first born, I would tell my husband, I just want 1 REM cycle, like just one on REM cycle. Yeah. So sleep is vital.
Almost positive when women become mothers, and I don't think it matters if it's your first or your 12th kid, you just get supersonic hearing. Like, I mean, our daughter was.
You also get supersonic catch reflexes.
Yeah.
Like when I was pregnant, I would like something would fall out of the cabinet, I'd be like, oh,
God. I would not even realize our daughter was fussy, and like she wouldn't even be crying. She would just like making noise in her sleep, and Courtney would be in her room, and I was like, "How did you? Weren't you sleeping?" She's like, "You didn't hear her?" I'm like, "No, I did not hear her."
My little brother just had a baby, and he sleeps through it completely. He just doesn't hear it, and Aubrey's up like that.
Yeah.
And it's just thing.
It's
not great. So we're never actually truly sleeping.
I
call it napping.
Yeah.
Napping.
Yeah.
Which also stimulates happy hormones. It's in our mental breakdown.
All right. So Self-Care Bitches starts at the beginning of COVID, which is, I love. It is not just it wasn't like you just made a bunch of stuff up and was like, this is what makes me feel better, so I'm going to write it down. It is backed in neuroscience.
Absolutely.
Right?
Neuroscience, we use positive psychology. I use a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy. So I'm pulling from all the areas in my field and pouring it into this. We use bullet journaling. So this is really helpful for people with ADHD. This is really helpful for people with depression and anxiety. This is really helpful for new moms, especially because when you're a new mom, I remember Britt and I have had this conversation. When Britt had her last kid, I was like, when's the last time you showered? Because we will go 4 days and forget, holy fuck, I haven't even taken a shower. Like, your mind is just baby, keep baby alive, feed baby, and you forget completely to take care of yourself. And so my husband, we're actually just talking about this last week. Like, we are going to enact a protected hour of self-care time each day. Like 1 hour where no kids are interrupting you, no kids are interrupting me. We're going to take turns. Like, it is so, so important to have that time for yourself every day. Even, and I know like my heart pours out, especially for single parents, because it is so fucking hard for them to find any time in their day to spend on themselves.
Right.
So I actually made a reel this week showing how I multitask my self-care with my kids in the background. And I'm showing like what activities I can do that are stimulating these happy hormones while I'm still momming at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're doing on the day-to-day basis for these?
For these, right now, I'm really focusing on our social media and on building our community. So,
I'm sorry.
Continue.
I worded that wrong.
Okay.
What is the plural? Like, what is a daily, is it an 8-hour process that you're doing through the day for your self-care? Or is it?
So what we do
Give me the elevator pitch of what one day was going to look like.
One day. So this is 5 weeks.
I do want to know what you're doing personally to help your business, but I'm more interested in the plural.
So this is your full day, okay? So we'll start with a dopamine day. So here's Sunday. So what you do is you come in here and here's your mental breakdown. Everything highlighted in blue is going to activate your dopamine. So when I wake up in the morning, I make my kid's lunch, I get him going for the day while he's eating breakfast, I take my coffee, I sit down, and I come here and I figure out what 5 things am I going to do for myself today for my self-care. So I'll come up here and I'll pull from it. And then I use SMART goals. So they got to be specific, they got to be measurable, they got to be, did I do this or did I not? Right. So for music, I'll say, okay, I'm going to listen to, I always wake my kids up with music in the morning. So like instead of an alarm clock, I'll start playing Creedence Clearwater for them. And I've got my husband trained where he'll be like, why isn't it on yet? So I start the day with music. I play music a lot throughout the day. For if animals activates your oxytocin. Dogs specifically can activate your oxytocin. So take my dogs on a car ride. Sunlight, I'm going to go have my lunch outside on my lunch break, or go to the beach after the kids get out of school. Meditation, what specific meditation are you going to do? Are you going to, I chant, I'm Buddhist, so I chant every day. I can also do guided meditations through apps on my phone, or just breathing. I like to drive in silence. My husband thinks I'm a psychopath for that, but it is my meditation. Like, open my sunroof, get that sunlight, put my windows down, just listen to the wind. That is my meditation. That feels so good for me. So what you do, it's a full day process, but it's not like you're having to like come back to it and, oh, I got 8 hours, whatever. It's what specifically are you going to do today to activate your happy hormones? Okay. And this is on a scale of fuck my life to fuck yeah. How are you sleeping? How are you feeling in the morning? So this is the bullet journal right here. You're just checking in. How are you doing on this scale? Joyful movement. What did you do today? Did you play volleyball? Did you go roller skating? Fortunate as fuck, that's a very important part. So that is your gratitude moment. So if you start your morning with gratitude, you're rewiring your brain for positivity. So we wake up with our tank full. So Tony Robbins actually says to spend that first hour of your day with no phone. So do not check your email, do not scroll on Facebook, do not nothing. So you spend that first hour gratitude journaling, you spend it exercising, doing positive affirmations, just like that first hour of your day. If you can make that first hour that time for yourself, that's right. There's like the 5 a.m. club and shit. When your kids are still asleep, hopefully, take that first hour for yourself. Right, I fill this box up with everything that I'm grateful for, and that can be anything. A lot of days it's coffee. I'm really grateful for coffee. I'm really grateful that I get to stay home with my kid and work on this business. I'm really grateful for the creative outlets that I have. I'm grateful for whatever. You fill that box up with everything that you are grateful for, and that's going to rewire your brain for positivity. Because we are so tuned to notice the negativity around us, and we ruminate on that, and we get stuck on it. So we have to go to the gym with our brains and rewire it for positivity with gratitude. And you do that with gratitude. Hydrated as fuck. I actually recently learned that your hydration is tied to your mental health. So when you're dehydrated, that directly affects your mental health. So getting your water in. And then this is more of the planner side. So if you take everything that you have to do today and you go to your get shit done box, what 3 things do you absolutely have to do today? Like, yeah, I want to do this shit, but what do you have to do today? Right. So narrow that down, celebrate your little victories, and then celebrate what'd you kick ass at today? Like, I'm kicking ass at this podcast today. What am I going to kick ass at tomorrow? Maybe getting a full night's sleep. Maybe in 18 years. Yeah. But, and then joy moments, that's the box for what made your heart smile that day. Okay. It's almost always my kids. My kids make me just be like I'm always taking pictures of them. So it's usually something about my kids, but what made your heart smile that day? And then this is like your to-do list. So this is your planner part of the day. And what happens is when you write shit down that you have to do and you mark that off, you're automatically spritzing your brain with dopamine.
Right.
So there are days that I will come to this and I've already knocked out half my shit and I will write down everything that I've already done just so I can mark it off to get that dopamine. And that's actually part of our mental breakdown is list tasks and check them off because you get that dopamine spritz.
Right.
So that's very important for the pen to paper aspect. Okay. A lot of people have asked, why don't we go app driven? And the science of pen to paper, it helps you process it so much more. It sticks better. You get more of that. It's like some people that like reading a book, a real book, versus reading it on like a Kindle or something. That's a coloring page.
I like it. So for anyone, if you don't end up buying the book, it's very, very well organized, color coordinated. I love
pink as your oxytocin.
I love the brain. Is that a brain?
I drew those. Thank
you. Is it a brain? Okay, yeah.
It's brains practicing different self-care activities.
No, I mean, I love the book. I think it's awesome. I love how you built this out too. As far as I like the idea of joyful movement rather than exercise. I mean, I don't personally have a negative association with it, but a lot of people do. And
you work out a lot. You're good at that. But I just signed up for the gym for the first time in like a decade last week, so I'm learning.
So, my morning routine this morning didn't do well. I've told you earlier, right? I had a friend come in town. We were up later than normal drinking, and I don't drink very much, so I had a rough morning. Right. But I woke up and I was like, okay, what do I know that I can do that I can fix my day a little bit, that I can get this off on a right start? So I read a little bit. We're trying to get a chicken coop. We're trying to get chickens in our house. So I learned I planned out my chicken coop, right? Okay. So I'm like now,
anticipation.
I would say fortunate as fuck. I could say I designed something, right? I did that.
And new experience. So you're working on a new experience.
And then I waited till my daughter woke up because she likes to do cold plunges with me. And then
cold plunges?
Yeah, she didn't want to do it.
Wait,
so I did it by myself. Getting in cold water.
Like fill a bathtub up and hop in?
Yeah. So
Steph does that. She's done that before. She does the ice stuff. And like,
definitely look into that. Yes. I feel great after them. So I did. Now, granted, I
How long
do
did you get in it?
This morning I did 5 minutes at 60 degrees. So Dr. Rhonda Patrick has good stuff on cold plunges. So does Andrew Huberman, Dr. Andrew Huberman. So you look up their podcast. They both have podcasts. Look up their cold plunges.
Okay.
I think Andrew Huberman has more. Dr. Rhonda Patrick is more. The podcast is more science. Okay. And Huberman feels like it's more like in touch with the consumer of just like, I say the consumer, the listener, of like, he kind of breaks it down, I think, more in the layman's terms, which I just like that more, but they both have great episodes on it. So I don't know. I might just be torturing myself and not doing anything.
But does it make you feel better?
I feel great, right? So even if it's a placebo effect, I'm like, well, that's a real thing, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to run with it. So
absolutely.
Woke up not feeling great, but I did my cold plunge, and then I got out my dog, and I was like, I'm going to go for a ruck. I have to exercise today. I didn't want to, but I did it.
Did you go outside?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did it.
So you're getting sunshine, you're getting nature, you're getting animals, and you're getting exercise. That's 4 activities, and you're activating all 4 of your happy hormones with just that.
Right, and I started, I don't know how long I'll keep this up, but depends where I go. If I'm out in nature, I don't put headphones in at all. But I was like, usually I put my headphones in when I'm exercising, especially if I'm out around town, because like listening to the sounds of cars is not my favorite thing.
Right.
But
also important for safety. I put one in, one out.
Right. So I don't use sunglasses, so I'm getting natural light in my eyes, and I went out for a ruck with my dog, and like I would not say it was joyful movement. I wasn't super happy on the ruck this morning, but I was
so
like,
you were completing a task.
But I felt great afterwards. Yes. And I think that's part of it. And I do enjoy rucking. Maybe the military background in me, but I was like, hey, this was fun. My dog's with me. I get like there's some camaraderie built there. Anyways, it's a morning routine that I chose to go with, even when I didn't feel great. And I'm seeing a bunch of stuff that's on here. Sleep, not great. AM mood, wasn't happy at 3:30 when I woke up. But I'm kind of like putting my morning routine on here, and I love it. I think it's great.
I heard someone say the other day the importance about making your morning routine unbreakable, and I am working so hard on that. And it's difficult to do with kids, of course, But if you can just kind of set up a routine that first hour of your day that you can do as much as you can before you walk out the door, like that is so important for you. And like the reel that I made the other day was showing, okay, I'm like making my lunch for my kid, but I'm listening to music. And I've only got 5 minutes before I gotta walk out the door, but I will take that 5 minutes of meditation because if I walk out the door, I know I'm not gonna meditate for the rest of the day. So here I go, I'm going. So
just 5 minutes of like intentional deep breathing.
Yes.
Is so impactful.
Yes.
I ran the numbers the other day on myself of like I wrote down all the things I would like to do in my morning routine, and I was like, okay, this timelines on how long I like to do them because I would like to read for 30 minutes, journal, and I went to Courtney and I was like, I have a 5-hour morning routine. It's like I think I need to mix it up. I think I need to do a little bit Monday morning, a little different things Tuesday morning, but I want to do all the
Welcome
things.
to the 2 a.m. club.
I was like, if I wake up at 4, then I can be done by 9, and then I can realistically like start my day. But then
you can go to sleep at like 7 p.m.
I don't want to cut my sleep out. So I was like, I don't need to do all of these things every day. I need to do a little bit
in moderation.
Right. And I don't need to journal for 30 minutes. I just need to journal a little bit.
So morning pages is actually on here. It doesn't specifically activate a happy hormone, but it is something, it's kind of like a brain dump. So if you start your day with just 3 pages, free association, writing 3 pages and dump everything out of your brain onto paper, it could take you 30 minutes depending on how long, but it could also take you 10 minutes.
Right.
So just doing those 3 pages of morning pages, that's also super helpful for you.
What I started doing, and it depends on the book I'm reading and what kind of book it is. Right now I'm reading a friend's autobiography, so I'm not doing it on hers, but on books that I'm really trying to, I guess, learn from, and I just haven't got to a part of her book where I felt the need to do it yet. But I will read, and I found when I first started reading like self-help books and development books, I was flying through them. And then I get to the end of the book, and I'm like, well, I read it all, but
didn't digest it.
Right. So I needed to slow myself down, and I was having a hard time. And I'm not a speed reader by any means, but I would just wake up and I was like 30 minutes, and I would read for 30 minutes, and then I'd put it down. I'd be like, maybe got a nugget out of it. So I started reading, and then kind of as soon as I had a thought that was outside the book, I put the book down, I get my journal, and I just start writing. Sometimes I would read 2 paragraphs, and then I would journal, and I give myself a 30-minute window. Sometimes I would read 6 pages and journal for 2 minutes. But it was I didn't force myself like I have to read for this long, journal for this long. It was just like I'm slowing myself down, so when I have a thought, I start writing. And now I'm kind of translating it maybe into a real world experience, maybe a memory, maybe something else. But I really enjoyed that process, and I don't do it enough.
Absolutely. No, that's wonderful. I am ADHD as hell. So like when I read something, I have to read it over and over again before it actually sticks. And I've learned this process. So like if I'm reading on my phone, I'll have to screenshot it and then I'll put it into my notes so that I can come back to it. Yeah. Or if I'm reading on my paper, I'll highlight it and then I'll go to my journal and I'll write down my highlights, or I'll paraphrase the highlights into my own words and write it down. Yeah. So like that whole repetition of digesting and going at your pace. Like, I actually found this app, it's called Headway, and it's all the self-care books in 15-minute nuggets. So it's like the cliff notes. Yeah. And it just takes all the most important shit out of there. No. Well, that's not really about, it's a plural. You gotta write in it.
So you got different things highlighted on different, or is everything the same in the mental breakdown category?
Yes, so this is all going to be the same, but it's highlighted. So everything in blue on this day is dopamine, then in the pink is oxytocin, and then green is serotonin, and yellow is endorphins. And you'll see some activities are highlighted with different, like the same color, or sorry, I'm saying that wrong. Some activities activate more than one happy hormone. So if you see it highlighted in blue and also in yellow, that's why. Right. So your golden 4 are going to be meditation, exercise, sunlight, and music. If you can put all 4 joyful movement. Yes. It's exercise in the mental breakdown because it's an E in mental breakdown, but it's joyful movement in your chakra.
Oh, I did not. I didn't realize everything under M starts with an M and then everything. Okay.
Yeah, because it's mental. That was the foundation of it, and then we expanded it into the mental breakdown. So yeah, everything under make your bed, meditation, music, and we've got exercise, creative expression.
So is the intent of this, because you have 4 different things, is it that so Sunday, this is blue, make your bed, meditation, you said each thing that's highlighted is
Correct.
what's being engaged.
So this is more of an introduction to the system, and it's not like on Sunday you have to do only dopamine, on Monday you have to do only exercise. It's not like that. It's just teaching you what exactly you're activating in your brain. So you can pull from anything, but the colors are just there to remind you, like, if I'm feeling lonely, I should probably look at my pink activities. What can I do that's in pink? Cuddle my dog, get a massage, do some loving kindness meditations. So like where you're at mentally, once you kind of pick up on the color coordination, you can start pointing out.
How the fuck do I use this? Okay, so you don't need you don't even have to watch this episode to do this. There's a very, very nice breakdown.
Those are my girls. That's Steph and Britt.
I love it. You got your
It teaches you about the different hormones. It teaches you about the system. It teaches you what each hormone is responsible for. And it's really short and sweet.
Yeah.
So we keep it like that, not to overwhelm. This can kind of look a little crazy at first, but if you look at it, it's really simple.
Yeah. I was literally last night talking to someone that I think more things need to be broken down to this level of simplicity.
I think so.
There are so many books now where you're like, I want to learn a little bit about, say, chickens, because that's what I'm talking about right now, right? And it's like a 400-page book on raising chickens. It's like, listen,
listen, Linda.
I need a 10-page book on chickens, right? Like, I need to know what kind of coop to get. I want to know how much square footage they need. I want to know how to change the bedding. I don't need to know every type of bedding. Like, tell me one way, and I'll learn from there.
Nice.
And
also infographics help a lot. It's just the way that our brains are changing. Like, I've noticed in social media as we've been doing this throughout the years. Like, we started with just text, like that's how we would receive our social media information, and then it moved to memes, and then it moved to GIFs, and now we're at Reels. So now I'm trying to figure out how to do like TikTok and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? So like we're receiving our information differently, and our brains are adjusting. And so now, like as you said, I don't need a 400-page book. I don't want a textbook. That's not going to stick. I need something with like that's simple and easy to digest, and not going to take me 4 years to get through.
So in the middle here,
yes.
We have adult sticker chart.
Yes, that is your habit tracker.
Okay.
So this is kind of an ABA approach. So it's positive reinforcement. So what your goal is, so like say my goal is to meditate every day. So I'm going to put meditate, and I'm going to say I want to do it 7 times. How many times did I actually achieve it? Okay. And then down here is how am I going to reward myself for achieving these things? So you're positively reinforcing yourself. You're setting your goals specifically. You're keeping track. We're trying to figure out how to make little stickers, like little bee stickers to put on there. We'll get there one day. I'm still trying to figure out email campaigns. It's hard, but we'll get there. But yeah, so this is your habit tracker. This is your overall how you doing, so it should be on a scale of fuck my life to fuck yeah. So how are we starting your week? And then this is like a week at a glance. Everything is left undated. So this is a book that this is a plural, that you can come back to. You can put down, you can use it when you need it. Ideally, I use mine every single day. I can't function without it, but there are some people that'll use it for a week and then take a break. So we leave it undated specifically for people, so it's not like, oh, well, fuck, I didn't use it all month, so now I have to buy another one. Like, no, it's there for you to use. You've got 5 full weeks, 2-page spread every day to use it when you're ready for it.
Like you said, it's how many weeks?
5.
5 weeks, okay. Cool. Where do they get them?
We have a website. It's called www.theselfcarebitches.com.
The Self-Care Bitches.
Yes, I actually brought a card for you.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
We sell them directly on our website. Sometimes I'll do vendor events around here. So like I did your vendor event. I've done some at Dream Coast. We were trying to sell them on Amazon, but that takes all their money. So we switched back to our website. So they're available for sale directly on our website. And if you're local, you can choose the Meet a Bitch option and not pay shipping and handling, and I'll bring it to you.
I like that. Is that also an option for anyone who may or may not be in Houston?
Houston can do the Meet a Bitch, and Okaloosa County can do the Meet a Bitch.
Okay.
And then otherwise, you're going to pay $5 for shipping and handling.
That's fair enough. Yeah, and then I mean, obviously, it would be nice to be able to have a new one of these. How much are they?
They're on sale for $20 right
Okay.
now, just $20.
$20 for 5 weeks of guide and a lot of great information.
Coloring pages, habit tracking, your planner, your self-care, all of it. And then we are super active on our social media. So on Instagram, on Facebook. I'm still figuring out TikTok. I'll get there. But I'm posting daily on that, and I'm just giving free therapy basically. So I'm talking a lot about what you can do specifically. I'm talking about how to get rid of negative thoughts, coping skills, all sorts of stuff. I cover a wide range. Just anything that's going to help you feel better is our mission. So that is what we are using our social media for currently. We also got some swag on our website. I started Self-care bitches has become my creative expression. So that's, I'm a stay-at-home mom with my baby. And so basically when she's napping in my arms, I'm designing and I use my phone to do design. So I started doing little fun, snarky self-care like magnets or prints or whatever. So I have those for sale for like $5 on our website. It's just what I do for my creative outlet. It can also maybe help my business someday.
I love it. I love it. What's the next steps?
We are actually in the process of building our community. So we are about to launch a Facebook support group. It's going to be called the Self-Care Bees Hive. And it's going to be really more of a peer-to-peer support group. So a place where our community members to like hold hands and show up and be like, hey, this is what I'm dealing with today. What works for you guys? So we really want to build that community. Steph has been training on life coaching. She's been doing a fuck ton of training for life coaching. So we want to eventually start offering life coaching sessions to our clients. And then we are also looking into doing a monthly subscription, and it will be ideally, we want to have a different theme book every month. So when we get to that level, that's what we're hoping. That's what we're future tripping on. There's a page for future tripping in here. That's our future trip. It's a monthly subscription box with a different planner each month, a different concept each month, and then some self-care goodies. So we're still in the works. Like I said, we kind of take turns on who's working full-time on it and who's momming full-time, who's learning full-time. So right now, this is what we have available, but we've got so much more in store, and I'm so excited.
That's awesome. I love the membership subscription and the community. I think that's something our generation with social media and with, that was supposed to make us more social, but everyone will tell you like, oh no, you just sit on your phone and scroll through Instagram
doom scroll
for 8 hours. Right. Like, it just goes on forever. And then when you're bored, you just go like, oh, I was on Instagram, now I'll open X, or now I'll open Facebook. And then you're like, look, there's a whole new algorithm to give me completely different information. And it's so addicting, but it's not social. It's not social. And that community aspect has fallen apart. And then COVID lockdowns forced us apart. And I mean, some people broke the rules and still got together, but it's something that I just feel like so lost over the last 5 years that it's so devastating that people forgot how to have conversations. I feel like people are anxious where it's like, hey, come over. It's like, right.
Wait, you gonna make a plan?
Right. No, I'm not gonna clean my house. Like, I'm not hosting you. Just come hang out.
I still get anxiety when someone calls my phone. I'm like, no. Or they're trying to FaceTime. I'm like, stop it.
If you want to break that habit real fast, go to real estate, because your phone just rings all the time.
Never. Oh God.
Who are these strangers calling me? No, it's good, but it's just been a very weird transition through. Yeah, I mean, we're very adamant about trying to bring community together and trying to bring people together. That's something Courtney and I are passionate about too. So it's like,
I love that community event that you did. That was so cool.
How do we do this? We got a father-daughter dance.
Aww.
Father-daughter date night. If you're a dad that doesn't dance, you can still show up.
That would be my husband.
Right.
My husband bringing a 7-month-old baby.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna give every dad who doesn't dance a hard time. Like, listen, your daughter does not care. No one's judging you. Go dance with your kid. But right. But on the 10th, hopefully for this episode.
Where's it gonna be?
Camp Tampucci in Niceville.
Okay.
But that'll be our next event. Yeah, so we're doing that.
I love that you guys are getting so active in the community. That's so inspiring.
So hopefully we'll have. I don't know how many tickets she's selling. I think she's selling 75 tickets, but it's like a couple's ticket, so it should be hopefully we'll have 100 plus people there.
Okay.
And it should be cool. But get dads together, especially dads with daughters. Like that's kind of I think I always joked that I wanted a son first, but I think having a daughter was so softening to me that like I would have been so hard on a son. It would have been like, you know what I mean? Like,
you know the cutest thing ever.
Yes,
so we had a boy first, but like I wanted a boy because I'm like team boy mom, and my husband wanted a girl, and he said he wanted a girl because girls are gonna change the world. And then I had a boy, and I was like, yeah, but then we just had a girl, so
nice.
nobody's gonna change the world too.
But yeah, I was glad that I had a daughter. Looking back on it, like I feel like I would have been unfairly hard on a son, trying to make him into the man that I think he could be. And not that I'm not hard on my daughter at times, but they soften you in different ways. So I think it'll be good to bring those people together. So it should be fun. I'm excited about it. Actually, it will be. It'll be a lot of fun.
It'll be a blast.
It's going to be so much fun. We're going to have a food truck and all kinds of stuff. Anyways, this is not about what we're doing. This is about self-care bitches. The self-care bitches. Okay.
Music, that's happy hormone, dancing,
Community.
joyful movement. Yeah, that's related.
Cheese's food truck is going to be there. So
my brother's obsessed with that place. I think he has a shirt from them. I gotta go check them out.
Shit, Holly was on the podcast, so check out her episode.
Oh yeah.
Let me see the self-care bees.
Self-care bees. So instead of profanity, we use emojis.
Okay.
So this is more kid-friendly. I think this would be a really great book for adolescents or for people that are just vehemently opposed to the F word. So we use the emojis instead. We change fucking to frickin'. We change drink your damn water to drink your dang water. Instead of get shit done, get it done. Instead of kick ass, slay that. So it's your more family-friendly version, or
but
if you know, like I have actually used this book with fourth graders. So I feel like this fourth grade and up it would be appropriate for it.
Yeah, it's the same book though, so you're not losing anything.
Correct.
From having
exact
this.
same book, just family friendly.
If you are Mormon or a kid or just don't want to see the fuck word all the time, then this is the book for you.
We've got you covered.
Okay.
And then this is our second book. Isn't that the best cover ever? Awesome. I had to really advocate for this. I was like, please give me just use this book.
Make sure one of them needs to be okay. So this is the cover for the second
installation. This is called Heavily Meditated instead of Medicated, right? So this is not just for chicks. This is for dudes. This is for everybody. So this is the exact same system, except every day in your fortune cookie, it's going to give you different insight on meditation practices. So like how to set up your altar, why meditation is important, guided meditations, breathing exercises, all different resources for accessing people that are really profound in that area. So this is heavily meditated. And then we're going to start working on a book on creative expression next.
Will it have the same general flow?
The same system and flow, just every day you're going to get different insight on that specific topic. So like for creative expression, we'll be doing different artistic outlets. So Brittany is actually an art teacher right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So you said your social media, and go on the social media if you want to see really what it's all about, but are you incorporating, I guess, different concepts that joyful movement, right? So like some people are kind of lost on that, like, well, I don't enjoy moving, I enjoy playing video games, or I enjoy, I don't want to get out of the house. I think people have a hard time, and part of it is just like, grow up, be brave, shit's scary.
Or get creative. So VR, the Wii, is that still a thing? I don't know, but that uses your body. Okay, so it's still a thing. So using your body to play video games. So what is it that you enjoy doing that you can move your body at the same time?
Right.
So even if it's dancing around your house or doing a physical video game, like just you gotta get creative with that, and it's gotta be something that you look forward to.
Get a push lawnmower if you like mowing the lawn. Get off of your riding lawnmower and go push it. I think there's also something to be said, and like I said, I have the very layman's education here. Like I listen to podcasts, and I am into physical fitness and into trying to make sure I'm healthy. So I have the uneducated perspective, just the experienced perspective.
You're super educated. Quit shitting on yourself.
I don't have a formal education. Let me say it that way. I don't have a formal education in health and fitness in neuroscience, but I've experimented and I've listened to
and you've researched
people like you, right? So
you're learning. You just don't have a piece of paper that says you learned.
I also, God, I don't remember who said it. I'm trying to think of it, but it might have been the local. My daughter went to a karate studio. And I think it might have been there that they said it, but they were asking what was the hardest belt to get in martial arts. And of course, everyone says it's the black belt. Everyone says the black belt, right?
Okay.
Like that's the hardest. You have to be the best at that, but it's the first one, right? Why is it the first one?
Because it takes a long time to form a new habit and learn new stuff and commit to it and show up daily.
And when you walk in and everyone's breaking boards or choking each other out or doing whatever they are doing, it takes bravery to walk in there and commit to a new thing. You have to be brave enough to suck at something.
I love that.
Right? That's
put that on a bumper sticker.
There you go. You can have it. But seriously, just like it doesn't matter what activity it is. Like I've heard about pickleball. I haven't played pickleball.
Oh my God, my friend Teresa plays that, and I really want to get into it.
All of my friends are like, you gotta come play. But like, I'm gonna suck at it. I've never played pickleball, but that's okay.
It's hilarious and fun while you suck at it.
Right. I think
laughter is endorphins.
I think that's part of it. Is just people are intimidated because they go into something and it's like, well, Courtney hears it all the time. I'm not good at yoga, so I don't start. Like, you don't get good at yoga until you start. That's the point. And what does good at yoga mean? Right? He looks like he's good at yoga He's hanging out. So I think people have this unrealistic perspective that like, well, I'm not good at this, therefore I'm not going to do it. And it's so ass backwards.
I actually just started singing lessons for the first time in my life last week.
Do you suck?
I suck so bad.
You should sing.
I know,
right? That's awesome.
Yes, I started with Dabney, and she said that I have hope, that I am not tone deaf, and I'm very pumped. And I came home to my husband, and I was like, I'm not tone deaf. So like, I suck, but like,
that's awesome.
Hope.
Yeah. So my wife tells me I'm good at everything, and I'm like, I'm really not. I'm so bad at singing. But I'm like, of all the things I can, and she'll even say like, yeah, you're right, you suck at singing. So I can always go back to like, it doesn't matter. I've tried different genres. I've tried different pitch, and I'll sing. I'll have fun. You know what I mean?
You just have to find your voice.
I
Did you know there's a chest voice and a head voice and a mixed voice where you use both? That's like people who know how to sing use both, but like you probably sing from your chest, and that's okay. You just got to find what songs to sing from your chest.
Right. So there's, yeah, it definitely can. But I always go back to like, well, I suck at singing, so you could say I'm good at stuff, but I
How
suck.
can we reframe that?
What?
I suck at singing.
I don't care that I suck at singing.
Okay.
I'm happy to suck at singing.
Okay.
I think it's like, I've noticed.
As long as it's not bringing you down.
No.
Worsening your self-esteem, then hell yeah, let's suck at singing together.
I noticed this with my daughter though, that she gets so frustrated when she's not good at something. And I think.
How old is she?
She's 9. I think people should embrace when they suck at something. It's okay to suck at stuff.
Yes.
It's okay to fail at stuff.
Yes, you have to.
Don't get mad at yourself for it. Like, it's impossible to be good at everything. It's impossible to be good at probably more than 10% of things. You're lucky to be great at 1 or 2 things in your life. And you have to be gifted to be exceptional, which I would put above great, right? So I just think people have this unrealistic perspective that like, I'm not going to do it because I'm not good at it. Most people aren't good at it. You're probably going to suck. You might suck forever. You might do it for 10 years and still suck. Do it. If you enjoy doing it. Don't do it if you don't enjoy doing it. But like,
find what you love, do it, and then share it with the world.
Doesn't fucking matter if you suck at it. Are you trying to make it your profession? Maybe you shouldn't suck at it. Like, I should not be a professional. I should not go, don't quit your day job, right? Yeah, like, but I'm not trying to make singing my profession. I'm trying to find other things to do my profession. But, if I want to sing around the house, I'm going to sing around the house. And I just sorry, Courtney, you have to suffer through my singing.
I just want to sing to make it, and then not cry at it.
But I think it's so important for people, and I think this helps with that of a way of find a joyful movement. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
But
something that
you need to
like.
You need to do it.
Moving your
You
body.
need to do it.
Yes.
So yeah, I love it. Sorry, I just went on a tangent.
I love it.
It's great. I think being able to find something that you can relate to in all of these categories. I know I'm kind of hitting on. I need to look at them again because I'm going to forget. And this is yours that you've already filled out. So I'm trying not to snoop here.
You're fine.
I mean, sleep's pretty straightforward. Joyful movement is just the one that I get to.
Helping others specifically
like
activates happy hormones as well. Don't ask me which one because I forget at the moment. But keeping that in your head, like who did I help today? That's also very important for your mental health.
All right, so I want to look through a couple of these. I'm going to put you on the hot seat real quick, but that's what you're here for. Because I could talk about these from my perspective, but I like other perspectives. Meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is meditation?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. So there's so many different types of meditation, and I actually just talked about in my reel this week, finding the one that works for you.
Okay.
So like I'm Buddhist, I chant Namo Hare Kyo, and actually all three of us in this business are Buddhist. We practice the same meditation. But actually finding the one for you, I call it downloads. So when I'm chanting, I'm doing Namo Hare Kyo, and my brain, the goal is not to shut your brain up. The goal is to listen to your downloads. So if it's deep breathing, if it's a guided meditation that you're listening to on your phone, if it's chanting, if it's doing mantras. So some people do like mala beads and they can go through the different beads and just say like a different affirmation every time. It's listening to your thoughts and receiving those downloads. It's not shutting off your brain or shutting it up. It's just really getting deep into it and just feeling good. I notice when I'm like, I'll say I'm in rhythm when I start rocking. Yeah. So like when I'm chanting and I start rocking, I'm like, oh, it's working.
Yeah. Nice. No, I love that you said that because I think some people have this.
They have this idea that you have to shut your brain off, and your brain wonders, and it's like, no, I got to bring it back to my meditation. Right. It's like, no, you got to listen to your downloads. And
I think it doesn't have to just be like chanting. It doesn't have to be sitting with like like it can be coloring. It can be all kinds of things.
It can be driving in your car with the windows down and no music on.
Right. I love it. All right.
It's just mindfulness. Right. Mindfulness is so. I haven't talked about mindfulness yet. Oh my god. Okay.
Sorry, go.
So, real quick, I like to tell everyone: depression is fear of the past. Anxiety is fear of the future. Mindfulness is right here, right now. It's your peace. So when you practice mindfulness daily, you don't have the headspace to be depressed or to get anxious because you're right here at this table talking to me right now, hopefully at peace. So I incorporate mindfulness into everything, and meditation is mindfulness. You are not thinking about the future. You're not thinking about the past. You're thinking about right here. Here I am. I love to use aromatherapy with my meditation. So I use like this little Bath and Body Works stress-free lotion. So I'm like smelling that, and I'm activating those happy hormones while I'm meditating. Meditation can actually activate all 4 happy hormones simultaneously, which is why that's a big one. That's a golden one. So just practice different types of meditations until you find the one that works for you. So I remember whenever I first started being a Buddhist and I was trying to share it with people, and they would be like, I got what works for me. And I'm like, that's awesome. Like, do that. If that works for you, hell yeah. Cheers. I'm so glad that you found that. I want to say that about meditation practice. Find the one that works for you and do it every fucking day. Even if it's only 5 minutes, do it every day. It's just so good for your brain.
Well, I think that's a big part of what praying is, and I mean our modern culture is mostly Christian, right? Mm-hmm. But it doesn't have to be. But like, I mean, Buddhist chanting, right? Mm-hmm. It's the same idea. It's a form of meditation, mm-hmm. right? I love that. I love, I think
you set your intentions during your meditation. I mean, meditation is what you want to make it, honestly. If you just want to listen to your breath, if you want to give yourself a positive affirmation, if you just want to shut the fuck up and just zone out, that is meditation, and that is good for you.
It's a time that you set aside that's an intention to try and...
mindful practice.
I love it.
Every day.
All right, environment is in here. What does that mean?
Environment is your space, so your home. So cleaning your space around you, keeping that tidy, yes. Right. So a cluttered space is a cluttered mind. I literally filled up my husband's entire car with shit and took it to Waterfront the other day, and I was like, stop. I felt so good about it. So when you declutter your environment, when you keep it tidy, you're keeping this tidy as well. Making your bed is actually the first thing that you can do in the morning that gives you an automatic hit of dopamine because it's a task completion. So when you do something that is completing a task, like making your bed, you're activating that pleasure reward part of your brain, which is also going to give you motivation to do more things throughout the day. So you're setting yourself up with motivation and pleasure and rewards to say, okay, I'm going to knock out the rest of my to-do list because I've already done one thing. I can do anything.
If someone's not into this type of stuff, there's all kinds of different people that are all preaching the same things, just from different personality types. But there's he's a commander. He's a Navy SEAL.
That's where we got that from.
Okay, yeah,
his
perfect.
Make Your Bed speech.
Great speech.
And we actually quote that in the book. We give the link to his talk about he ends it with, if you've done anything today, you've made your bed.
Right.
And that is step one.
That was something I wanted to ask earlier. So you have your social media stuff that you're doing, and you're providing some of these resources. Are you providing links where people can go research on their own? If I wanted to say and if not, I don't know if you
actually, yeah. So early on in our social media, we had a little rhythm where we'd be like, okay, here's who we're spotlighting, here's what they talk about, here's the link to their book or to their podcast or to whatever. We have resource libraries. It's called the Bitches Library in the first book, and it's all the books that have really just changed our lives. Yep. So we do point people in the direction of what's influencing us. And
so if I want to know more about how making your bed helps me, right? Why that's a thing, and I'm not saying that you guys don't have enough, but
it's in here.
I want to read a book on it, or I want to listen to a full podcast.
So this first book, actually, in the fortune cookie of every box, goes through every component of the planner. Okay. So this is going to talk about your sticker chart. Why are we doing the sticker chart? Okay. This is going to talk about tracking your habits. Why are we tracking habits? And then we go through each component of the mental breakdown and where did this come from? Why is this important? Here's someone that's talking about it. Okay. So this is the Happy Hormones Bare Bones is actually just an introduction to our system and teaches you about every single part of the planner. Okay. So we call it Bare Bones because we actually sold out of our first round of books. We did a GoFundMe and we printed off 100 books. It was fucking expensive. Congratulations. Yes, and we sold out of all those and realized that we don't have the money to keep printing that shit. So we had to go down to these. So we're printing them through KDP now, which is just a different printing company. So this is the Bare Bones version, but we are hoping to we're future tripping on how we can get back to those really high quality, awesome planners with the spirals and the pockets and the tabs. Yeah. We're gonna get back to that.
Nice. Okay, so let's see. We got environment on there. Some of these to me seem self-evident, and some of them don't, which is why.
So ask me about those, and they are in the fortune cookies for those. When you look at it, you're like, what the fuck does that mean? It's going to be in the fortune cookie.
All right, so nurture others.
Nurture others. So you're a dad, you're nurturing constantly every day. Yes. Right. So when you're lifting them up, when you're teaching them, when you're holding them, when you're taking care of them, when you're giving a homeless person a banana on the road, you're nurturing others.
Okay. Ask for help.
That is so important. So therapy, doing podcasts, you want to do a chicken coop, you're learning how the fuck do I do a chicken coop? Right. You're doing podcasts, you're looking at resources, you're doing books, you're asking for help. Like, who the fuck knows how to do a chicken coop? Someone help me. So ask for help.
I think from the male perspective here,
yes.
I read a book earlier this year. I borrowed it from a friend, actually. I have to give it back to her. It's called Why Gender Matters. Okay. Right? And I am very much of the mindset that we are different and our minds are different based off of the gender that you're born, right? But he has a really good breakdown in this book on why gender matters of asking for help. And basically it shows that why males don't do it. And I was like, no, That's why women call us stupid. I get
You're
it.
not
Like,
stupid.
right.
You're
You
just
struggled for an hour before you asked someone who had
it
the
drives
answer
me
right there.
insane. My husband will not let us ask for help at Lowe's when I'm like, where the fuck is this screw? And I'm like, oh, there's someone that works here. I'm gonna go ask him. And he's like, no, I got this. And I'm like, oh.
Ask for directions. Just ask for directions. No, I love it. I think for the male audience listening, like,
because you're raised that way though. Like
right.
it's a nurture versus nurture. Both of those go into it, and that's how your nature and nurture.
Well, and what I would say is, if you ask for help, just don't tell someone how long you've been looking. You know, if you're at Lowe's, like tell your husband,
I don't need shame.
tell your husband, like, if you want to feel better about it because you feel like you put in all your effort, just go lie to the guy and tell him you've been looking for 40 minutes and then ask for help even though you haven't looked for more than 2 seconds.
Or you let me sneak over and be like, hey, where's this? And they're like, oh my God, I found it. It's right there.
If that makes you feel better as a man to like, hey, I tried my hardest. I just can't do it. I need your help now. Then do that. But ask for damn help. Like, it's not that hard to do.
Okay. So you have this like concept about I have to figure it out on my own.
I think a lot of guys do. I think that's why we don't ask
it's like the man card thing. Like, I got this.
I have gotten past it personally. I have gotten to the point where just like, if you know the answer, I'm just gonna come to you because I don't want to.
Why waste 40 minutes?
Right. Yeah. I think there's something to be had from learning the hard way on some things.
A couple of times, but you don't have to keep learning the hard way.
And
work smarter, not harder.
I think YouTube has been a huge like benefit of learning and asking for help because I don't have to go to a person and ask for help.
YouTube everything, and she cracks me up. One time she YouTubed how to clean her room, and I was like, shut the fuck up. But she was like, no, this helped me. Like, this is awesome. She will YouTube everything, and it's so helpful though.
It is,
especially for people that are like visual learners. Like,
well, we went up to a friend's farm yesterday, and we were up there for like 3 hours asking them about gardening and chickens and rabbits, and they have like 20 acres, so they're kind of developing that whole land, but we have a meager, well, it's almost an acre. So we're trying to do like the mini version of it, right? But I asked him a lot on like, how did you do this? What do they need? But then this morning when I couldn't sleep, I got on YouTube and I was like, okay, well, I want to see 5 different designs for chicken coops because I didn't know it was going to work with my land or how it was going to go. So, I didn't go out and build a chicken coop and be like, shit, this didn't work. And then build another one, like, shit, this didn't work. And then consult someone for help. And there's so many resources out there now. Just consult someone for help. So ask for damn help.
Yes.
It's not that hard.
Super easy.
I know it might be scary.
Got the whole world wide web in your pocket
to
now.
the guys out there, just ask for help. I love
Do it.
Laughter, little victories, sunlight. I love it. There was a couple in there that stuck out to me that I definitely wanted to go through. Hydrated, if you don't mind me putting my 2 cents in there.
Yes, tell me.
Well, let me ask, actually. So is there 8 water bottles on here?
There is, however, it doesn't say how many ounces those are. Okay. That's how many little emoji water bottles fit in that box. So I have actually just consulted with a registered dietitian, and she said that you should drink half your body weight in ounces. So like if you're 200 pounds, drink 100 ounces of water a day.
Yes. So I love that, but what I would caveat it as, it depends. I think that's a good baseline.
Okay.
Right? I think that's a really good baseline. However, we live in Florida. It's 90 degrees with 100% humidity all summer long.
We make our own water.
Right. So like, I'm not a dietitian. I don't know. I ask the pros is really the question. But I just like to caveat it with, there's so many misconceptions about how much water should I drink, right? Okay, well, if you work outside as a manual laborer working on roofs in Florida or Texas in the summer, maybe you need more water. Like, well, I drank 8 ounces, 8-ounce glasses today. Like, might want to bump that up a little bit.
This is more of like a dopamine hit. I drink a cup of water.
Right.
I'm not saying how many ounces that cup of water is, but it's just to get in the mindset of this is important. This affects my mental health, and I'm doing it. Yeah. So I put little check marks on my water bottles whenever I finish one.
I love it. That was another thing that just stuck out to me on there that I don't want people to think that. It's just it varies so much. It varies. I like that she said it. Exactly what you said is what I've been telling people. Like your baseline should be half your body weight in ounces. But if you work out heavily, you go in the sauna and you work outside, or you have manual labor, you probably need to
If you're making your own water, you
bring
need
it
to drink
up.
more.
Right, you need to bring it up a little bit. If you're a mouth breather, right? If you breathe with your mouth open through your mouth, because you're getting rid of more water through your mouth.
Really? I have like a perpetual stuffy nose, so I'm always breathing through my mouth.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm such an ugly sleeper. It's fine.
So we got a bunch of the stuff you're gonna do in the future.
Yeah.
I like to try and ask everyone at the end of these, and I don't know if I gave you a warning on this, so this might be dropping on you quick. If someone was coming to the Emerald Coast and they had unlimited amount of money and they were gonna be here for 24 hours, what are your favorite things that you would recommend they do?
Oh, parasailing for sure. Basically, just go to the harbor walk and do every fucking thing there. So I really love the parasailing. We went snuba diving, which is like scuba diving for amateurs. That was pretty cool. I love paddleboarding.
Okay.
That's my hobby. Going to the beach, of course, because we're at the Emerald Coast. And then we have a lot of really great food here. We love going to the boardroom. We just found this place called Ivy and Ale. Have you been there?
I have not.
Oh my god. Okay, we went there 3 times in 1 week. So it's like actually super happy hormone inducing. They've got live music. They've got plants everywhere. Their food is so yeah, we've got a shit ton of really awesome fine dining. We've got all the water sports. I love going out Okaloosa Island, the fishing pier. It's like $2 to walk on it, but you can see dolphins, you can see sea turtles, you can see sharks, and if you go an hour before sunset, that's the best time to go that I have found to see the sea turtles and to see the dolphins. Okay. I haven't seen a shark yet, but everyone else sees sharks. It's probably the fishermen that are there all the time.
If you show up right before the sun comes up, it's when the dolphins are feeding. It's early. But it's when the dolphins are feeding.
They also feed an hour before sunset.
I have not been out there sunset time, so I can't speak to that. But I have been out there fishing right before the sun comes up and right as the sun's coming up. I mean, dolphins are just murdering fish left and right. That's constant, but it is very cool to see. All right, so basically go to all the water sports.
Also go to Katie Ann Thorne for all your hair care needs. She sponsored my hairstyle today. She's fantastic. Yes.
I love it. It's very cool.
She gave me Viking braids.
I know.
That's so cool.
I'm working on growing mine out so I can start doing some more fun stuff with it. It's a work in progress. If someone wants to get a hold of you, what's your social media?
On Facebook, we are the Self-Care Bees, because they are not ready for bitches yet. On Instagram, we are the Self-Care Bitches, or our website is theselfcarebitches.com.
Awesome. I'll put your website and your social media, or whatever you send me, to put in the show notes.
You know that, all of that.
Because I will put in the show notes. So scroll down, check out the show notes. Ashli-Jean.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That was over an hour.
But thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. And I don't remember Brittany and Stephanie.
Yes.
Keep it up, bitches. I'm not usually allowed to call women that, but I feel like I'm allowed to.
You are.
Right?
Like right here.
You did it to yourself. Awesome. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We'll have you on again.
Yay. Thank you.